Barney, a little hero in the stream of time. Barney couldn't remember how he ended up in that freezing hole. Perhaps he never would. The world around him was cold and unforgiving. An icy wind pierced him to the bone, and the snow beneath his tiny body crunched as if mocking his weakness. He shivered, growing weaker with every passing moment, but his eyes still burned with a quiet determination. Somewhere deep inside, a small spark of life refused to go out. A fragile flame Barney clung to desperately. He was found just in time, when it seemed hope had completely abandoned that place. The people passing by might have overlooked the tiny puppy struggling for life on the outskirts of Donetsk, but they stopped. One of them bent down and carefully lifted Barney into their arms, as though holding a delicate treasure. "You'll live, little one," the person murmured softly, as if making a promise to themselves. Barney's journey began. He was still afraid, but he was no longer alone. The car jolted along uneven roads. The journey was long and cold, but the hands holding him were warm. In Krasnodar, a new chapter of his life began. The little puppy had been born with weak legs, making it difficult for him to move like other dogs. But Barney didn't give up. He learned to move again, step by determined step. Volunteers found a doctor in distant Novosibirsk who was willing to take on his difficult case. While preparing for surgery, Barney quickly adapted to walking on his front legs. After the operation, he began mastering the use of his hind legs with the same resilience. The surgery was a success. As the stitches healed, Barney started a new life. His movements were hesitant at first, as though he feared the ground might suddenly disappear beneath him. But with each attempt, he grew stronger. Barney didn't know he was special. His walk was a little different, and he tired faster than other dogs on walks. But it didn't matter to him. He found joy in every moment. The touch of kind hands, the warmth of the sun, the scent of the snow. His wagging tail seemed to say to the world, "I'm happy." Finding a family for Barney wasn't easy. In Russia, no one dared to take him in, but fate had other plans. His story reached England, where a family couldn't remain indifferent. They made their decision instantly. Barney would become part of their home. His new parents were eagerly preparing for his arrival. They bought bowls, toys, a warm sock for his walks, and everything else their new companion would need to feel loved and protected. Now, Barney has a great journey ahead of him. In just a few days he will be brought to the airport, where he will fly to Turkey and then to Paris, where we will meet him personally. From there, he will travel by car to England, to his new home where his family is already waiting for him. As we closed Barney's crate before his journey, his bright, trusting eyes looked up at us. In them, we saw gratitude and a quiet certainty that something better awaited him. At that moment, we understood that this wasn't just a story about rescuing one puppy. It was a reminder that, despite the cruelty in the world, kindness always finds a way to fight and win.